G'day guys and welcome back. Just a quick video today. We're going to be fitting some light bars to the old Unimog. Because I'm a tight ass, I'm just reusing these old 20 odd inch light bars. One I had on the front of my Patrol for a few years and the other one a friend gave me. So we're going to fit those up on the front. Don't quite know how it's going to go yet. And sticking true to form, going to reuse an old wiring harness as well, so it's been cut up. I've ripped bits out of it, but we'll see how we go. Get it wired in. Not going to be anything fancy today. It's not really a how-to. Just a bit of a time lapse of me going through and fitting this thing up. Let's see, I've chucked this bull bar, bumper bar, shield, whatever you want, back on from the other day as well. We've got a bit of a trip ahead of us in the next week or so with the old girl, so yeah, the lights are just going to help out a little bit. I have put some LED lights in the front, the standard lights here. They're not great at night, so yeah, anyway, we'll put these on there and set you up for a bit of a time lapse. Anything that comes up that's interesting as I go through, I'll pull the video up and explain it. Let's get into it. Right, so I think I figured these out where we're going to put them. I'm going to mount them to this bar, this bull bar, rhubarb, whatever you want to call it. Don't know if I'm going to keep this on there long term, but at least it's nice and easy to get on and off, and I'm not drilling through parts that will actually stay on the vehicle. These lights probably aren't going to be permanent. Well, at least that's the plan. They probably will be permanent. So that is going to mount here. This steel here is about 5mm thick, 1/4 inch for those in the US. I'm just going to thread straight into it. Given that this is a European vehicle, everything is metric, so I'll continue with the theme there wherever possible. So I'm just going to tap straight into that steel. There's plenty of meat there, and just use some stainless M6 bolts. Well, there we go, fit it up. Don't have too many issues. These bolts aren't very good in the end of this material here. The two of the bolts, one on this one and one on that one, are just about to strip out, so might have to put some helicoils in there, or recoils, if they do let go. I haven't Loctited these. They've got a bit of paint on the back of the nut, and they seem to be jamming into the cast alloy quite nicely, so they probably won't come loose. We'll see how we go. I'll keep an eye on them on the trip and see if they're going to come loose. If they do, I'll just put a bit of Loctite on them, and that'll stop it from coming undone. Worst case scenario, I can drill them out and put a nut on the back, so should be all good. All right, wiring up time now. We'll get to that. So I use these, been using these Anderson power pole type connectors. They're good. They say they're good to about 30 amps, although they're not too happy when they got 30 amps running through them for any length of time. What I like about them is they are hermaphrodites, so you only need to buy one connector. There's not a male and a female. There's just one. It's like the larger Anderson, like the 50 amp one. See, and you can see they just clip together like so. The other reason I like them is that they are cheap, readily available, and although they're not waterproof, I see that as a good thing, because inevitably even other types of waterproof connectors, once they get water in them, they're terrible. At least these get a chance to dry out. So yeah, this is what I pretty much use on everything, and you can connect more than, you can see they're like Lego. You can sort of connect more of them together. You buy them in all different colours. Pretty handy universal connector. And the cat's come to say hello. Come here. Or rather, just ignore me, as he does. Hey fella. Yep, see you later. So I don't know about where you live, but in our part of the world, you're not really allowed to let your cats leave the property. So our little guy's primarily an indoor cat, but he still likes to go outside. Goes out on a lead, and we just keep an eye on him. He's pretty good, he doesn't jump up too much. So there's a little risk of him hanging himself. He's got a harness and that on, so he's pretty right. He's used to it. Here you come. Say hello. Hey. Apparently we're going back inside. Going in or not? Nope. Hey. Yep, we are going inside. I thought so. So that's the bulk of the wiring harness done. A couple of Anderson poles here to power poles to go onto the two lights. This harness has a like a junction intercept for a standard H4 type bulb. This will probably I'll probably cut that off because I'm pretty sure the connector's different on these. And then power input here, which I've obviously cut off in the past. I'll have to supply some juice in there. And I'll need to get a new relay because this will only be a 12 volt relay. So yeah, happy days. Okay, so that relay that I've got there is 12 volt. The wiring harness looks like it's out of a Nissan Patrol, or out of a Nissan at least. I don't know if it came out of my Patrol or not. Anyway, it's not a standard relay. Sunday here in Kununurra in northern WA, so nothing's open. Not that I'd probably be able to get one anyway. So sticking with a 12 volt relay, but I can fix that with this little guy here. Little voltage regulator from eBay. Can't remember how much these are. There's the part number there. It uses an LM2596 switch mode type regulator there. Little 5-leg jobby. These are pretty good. They're good up to 3 amps without a heatsink. Pretty reliable. I've used these quite a bit. So this will bring the 24 volts down to 12 for the relay. So there won't be much current going through it. Just to drive the relay. So yeah, I'll just wire this into the harness now, and in the truck up here there's a power box which goes through the firewall. I should be able to find high beams there, signal, which I can drive this little board with, which will drive the relay. So I brought this cable you see coming out here, I brought the signal wire down and permanent 24 volt down there as well. So it picks up the earth from where the relay bolts in over here. I'll show you it all once it's all done. So yeah, I'll get to doing that now. So this is the little board all wired up. I'll have to adjust the voltage yet. It is adjustable voltage there using this 10-turn or multi-turn trim pot. Just got the one ground coming in, which I'll find a ground under there somewhere, and then in and out. Easy as that. I've run them through the board there to provide a bit of strain relief, and once it's all adjusted to the correct voltage, I'll put some heat shrink over it as well to protect it. so it's all set up and done. I only had a 7.5 amp fuse, which you can see here. That's what I meant by dodging it up, just a couple of female spade connectors there. It's not all that dodgy really, it's fine. And here's the total current draw for the two light bars out of interest, obviously at 24 volts, not at 12 volts, so there's the current draw there, and then the current draw that the relay and that little voltage voltage regulator that I've put in there is drawing at 24 volts is 130 milliamps or thereabouts. It's not super accurate, this Hall effect meter at low currents like that, but there we go. You can see it's pretty good. There it is, all working. I haven't run a switch into the dash to turn the light bars on and off individually. I've been told by a few people now that it's no longer required that you do that in Western Australia. I'm not 100% certain. I thought it was a legal requirement to be able to switch them off separately, but anyway, you can turn them on and off obviously, and they turn on and off with the high beam stalk, which is the idea, and I believe that's all that's required. So anyway, there we go. I'll clean all this up now and clean up that junction box that goes through the firewall, and then I'll do a quick video to show you what we've achieved. Righto, so she's all done. And all the cabling goes back inside that junction box, no worries at all. The adapter for the voltage regulator rather is inside there as well. Cable runs across with factory cabling there, behind the airbox, which you can't see. Down to the relay here. Like I said, that is a 12 volt relay, which is why we've got that voltage regulator. And there we go. It's the wiring here. Try and find some corrugated tube for that in a moment and add that on there. But that's it. Thanks very much for watching. If you did like the video, just give it a thumbs up, and I hope to have some more content, so subscribe as well so you don't miss out on that. Cheers, and we'll catch you in the next one.